Today I'm joined by Emily. Emily, I interviewed your friend Juliana. She's a friend of yours from church, and you reached out to me because you have a similar story of sobriety and recovery, right?
Yeah.
So, what does your story sound like? What happened to you?
So, I kind of grew up in the streets. I had my family there, but for some reason the streets would always pull me. I started doing all types of drugs. I did blues. I did basically any drug that you can name. I did it. It took me through the wrong path. In other words, I ended up sleeping here and there to the park, like in a park, or I would actually stay with some of my friends as well. Whenever somebody would open up a place, I would end up staying there. So I kind of didn't have nobody there. In other words, I didn't know where I was heading to, and I don't know, it was just I don't know.
So, how long have you been sober now?
It was on and off for a while. Officially, I want to say like 3 years. So it was pretty tough.
3 years of being sober, congratulations. But how many years were you out there on the street?
I was 17, 18, around, I want to say maybe 2 years.
So about
maybe
2 years?
Yeah, but like, I want to say I always had like some type of favor over my life. Just because I always had somebody to like open up a room, or like even if it was their couch or a friend or some, like just basically a roof over my head sometimes. But here and there like my friends would stay out there with me, so like I had no place to go, so yeah.
And what caused you to just say, you know what, I'm tired of this, I'm gonna go seek? Did you go to a treatment center, or what happened?
No, I actually I couldn't go. I didn't have papers at that time, so it was really tough for me to basically, I didn't have that opportunity that a lot of people do have. So I don't know, something in me, I just wanted to stop, but I didn't know how. And I think I wanted to believe that there was something out there, but I just didn't. I don't know. I didn't know how to do it. How to stop. I just kept sinking myself deeper and deeper.
So you did stop, and what would you attribute that to?
I want to say somebody spoke to me about God. In other words, yeah.
So was that the first time you had heard about God?
It was just crazy how it happened. A lot of people during that month, they just kept talking to me about God. Some lady, when I was at work, she was like, you know what? He's looking for you. And I thought she was crazy, because I was like, who's looking for me? Like, what? I just didn't know. She's like, I see him in your eyes. And I was like, see what? And she told me, she's like, I see Jesus, and he's looking for you. And I was like, oh, thank you. I thought it was awkward, so I just left. And that got me thinking a lot. And ever since that day, I think it's what triggered it. That's when it started. That's when a lot of people started talking to me about God, and then I don't know, it was just crazy. Some guy ended up knocking at my door, and he was like, hey, I've been knocking at this door for the last 5 days. He was like, and so God basically told me that there was going to be a person there, a young lady that needs help, that's going through depression, addiction, and she's been trying to commit suicide so many times, but she doesn't know how. Like she feels so much like a failure that even she fails at the committing suicide part. And I just didn't know how to answer this guy. Like, I was like, don't we all? Like, I think we all have some type of problems. We're going through it, And yeah, it was just weird how it happened, and I still didn't want to believe at that point. Like, many of us, like who's this guy coming to my door telling me something that everybody is going through? And he was like, do you have headaches? And I'm like, yeah, we all get headaches. Like, it's a common thing. And he was like, if I pray for you and your headache goes away when I say Jesus, will you be down to go with me to church today? And I was like, there's no way. So that's when I shook on his hand. Well, we shook on it, and he started praying for me. And it's crazy because, like, the moment he said Jesus, I kid you not, like, that's when the headache went away, and I thought, like, what is this? So that's when I was like, you know what, I'm listening to you. And he started telling me how he was also an addict, how he was wandering the streets, he would sleep in front of food cities, bus stops, and he kind of had a similar story. Somebody went up to him, talking to him about God, opened a house for him, and something like that. Like I ended up going with him that day, and ever since it's just I couldn't stop. Like there was just something there. So, and then I know Juliana was talking to you about the pastors from the church. They actually, since my family kind of didn't want nothing to do with me because of everything that I did, they kind of opened up their doors for me, you know. Gave me a room, and they started teaching me basically morals, things that I didn't know about. They started talking to me about the Bible, how Jesus actually loved me, how Jesus cared for me, and they told me, they're like, one day you're also gonna give this to somebody else. And ever since, I kind of held on to that, and I was like, you know, one day what they did to me, I want to do it for other people. So they opened up their house, they spent their money, they bought me clothes, they bought me food, shoes, basically everything. Like they kind of taught me how to be a person without the drugs. I didn't know how to, I basically didn't know how to cope with life. I didn't know how to be me until they kind of came in. They started teaching me, like, you know what, like a female's supposed to be like this, like basically the little things, the hygiene and everything. So that kind of made an impact on me.
So you weren't getting that at home from your family?
They were there, they just didn't know how to help me. You know, they kicked me out, then I couldn't go back. So
how are you doing now? What's your life look like now?
Now, ever since I started serving God, I decided that I wanted to do something different. So I picked up a guitar, I learned how to play the guitar, and I'm like, I'm gonna play for you. You did all of this for me, the least I can do is give you something, right? So I picked up the guitar, I started learning how to play the guitar. I started serving at church, translating here and there, and I would give some classes here and there. But now basically I have a good job, I have a stable job. I work at a family clinic, so and I do medical records, and so basically like something that I never saw myself doing. I always thought I would be working at a McDonald's or something. So because I just always thought that I was gonna be in that cycle, in that atmosphere. I didn't think there was a way out.
But there is. You're a shining example that there's always hope, right?
Yeah.
To get out of that lifestyle. Yeah. And here you are, shining and thriving and living the best life, right? Yeah. What does your future hold for you? What does it look like for you?
Well, I'm really into engineering, like audio engineering. So I believe God opened up a chance there, because there's a few radio stations that let me mess with their stuff. They let me be in charge of some group, like some of their shows, programs. So that's kind of big for my life. The whole radio, and then, well, the music, I really enjoy music. So I think, I don't know, it's just it's different. So I feel like God's gonna take me through that road, you know.
So some doors are gonna open in the music scene for you, possibly?
Hopefully, yeah.
Awesome,
yeah.
Good to hear. When you see these videos that I do of all these young people, there's 15, 16, 17-year-olds out there, does that do you see yourself in them a little bit? Can you relate?
Yeah, I mean, in fact, I've seen some people that I ran into the streets with. I don't know, it just, seeing them like that, I was like, I don't remember you being like that when we were in high school, or when we were in high school. And I don't know, I see myself in them, and it's just, I don't know, I think about how I was in that situation and I wanted a way out, but I didn't know how. I felt like I was stuck there. And until, God came into my life, and I was like, you know what, maybe there is hope. Maybe there is something out there that we can't see, or that we can't see, and all these people have been teaching. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people were trying to throw the word God inside my my mind, and I'm like, well, like if God thinks that about me, like I don't want your God. But until I realized that it's actually a relationship with Him, it's there's a love there, you know. That's when. Yeah.
It sounds like you mentioned relationship, and it sounds like you've discovered that relationship that you never had before.
Yeah.
Love, relationship, confidence, right? Your
Yeah.
self-esteem is built up, and you've built yourself up into a person that has a bright outlook in life now, right? Whereas in the past you're stuck in that cycle of darkness.
Yeah, I don't know, it's a whole different life. The view's different, in other words. So.
And what advice would you give to other young Emilys out there? They're at home, they're struggling, their family doesn't know how to talk to them, how to help them grow.
Yeah.
What advice would you give them?
Honestly, there's hope. If there's a start to everything, there's always an end to everything. It's just, if you want it, just take the help, you know? And yeah, I think that's what it is. Like, there's always hope.
There's always hope. You play a big part at church, and you have an event at church coming up very soon. Do you want to talk about that?
Oh yeah. So we kind of wanted to give back to our community. We noticed that without our community we wouldn't be anything. So this was a way we wanted to give back. We wanted to. We're doing a raffle. I have the flyer right here.
I'll attach the flyer at the end of the video, but if you could just kind of give the basics.
So yeah, there's gonna be a raffle. People are gonna be accepting petitions. Like if you want a prayer, there's gonna be live music. There's actually gonna be a guy that raps. He's from our youth group, so he's gonna be rapping.
What day?
December 17th.
About what time?
2.
And what's the address?
The address is 3442 West Wilshire Road, and then it's suite number 5.
What's the name of your church?
Revealed Kingdom.
Okay. I want to say thank you very much for reaching out to me and sharing your story. Very similar to Juliana. It's a story about redemption, recovery, and hope.
Yeah.
And so you're talking to me and you're telling me that you know some of the people I've interviewed, right? You've seen them out in the street when you were out there. And if you're sitting across from me healthy, doing better, with a better outlook and goals and dreams, just living better and living life, right? There's some people I've interviewed, they're no longer here. You avoided that. So I think how many other people in the future will be, living a better life just like you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like if they need help, or if you guys need help, don't be afraid to contact Art, basically. And I can leave our number so that they can.
Absolutely, yeah. How can they contact your church or you for a prayer, for advice, for just strength, right? Because a lot of people are down. How can they contact you? I don't know if you guys have social media or.
So we do have social media. We have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and I think TikTok. I'm not sure. But one good way to contact us is through the same number that Juliana left. They can text it or give us a call. It's available 24 hours, 7 days a week. If they need a prayer or just somebody to talk to, if they have nowhere to go or they just need some sort of direction, the number to call would, I'm gonna go ahead and give it out. It's gonna be the 386-4913. So that would be a good contact number for our church.
Okay, so Emily, I'm gonna say thank you very much for talking to me and sharing your story. it's just I'm honored to meet you and hear the success that you're having. Continue to go down that path and bring others along with you, lift others, right?
Yeah.
So maybe God's working through you to help others, right?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I want. Like, I want somebody to see this and be like, you know what, I want to be where she's at. Like, I want open doors. Maybe they just don't have a family or anywhere to go, or they're like, well, my family's not backing me up. My family wasn't backing me up in the beginning either, but now they want to be part of my life, you know. My brothers, like, they want to be around me now. My mom, like, they just see something different in me now, and they're like, I don't know what it is, but there's something about you. And I'm like, well, you know, I started, or like friends that I encounter, they're like, there's something about you. And I think that's what I want for everybody else, to have that special thing inside of them that just stands out.
Absolutely. Great message. And again, thank you very much. We'll stay in contact and we'll talk soon, okay?
Okay.